Well, good evening, or good afternoon, rather, and welcome to this championship round of the S-Oil Championship for 2023. My name is Adam Jenkins. It is a pleasure to have you aboard with us as we get set to crown a champion at this event. And as we enter this Sunday round, this young woman right here, Lee Seung-yeon, appears to be the pole sitter in terms of who might go on to take the largest of the spoils of this 900 million won purse. She enters the day in the lead. She is sharing it at the minute with Kim Chae-hee. They are late in their front nine. We are a little bit behind schedule of where we would expect to be, thanks to plenty of rain in the forecast here on Jeju. But the course is looking good, and the forecast is looking better as we get set for the final, now 11 holes or so. Of course, a familiar star, Imi Jung, back in a resurgent run of form, and was right in the mix in Championship Sunday just a couple of weeks ago, back in the Major Championship. She's hanging around, only 3 strokes back, but some work to do on the back nine. The shot is beautiful, and the flag illustrates the conditions today, as you see it quite pinned to the left, 6.3 meters per second. The wind steady in this final round. And now a little right to left from our perspective, left to right for our leader, Lee Seung-yeon, who was able to hole out and maintain that share of the lead with par. She will have challengers. There is no doubt about that in this home stretch. We expected EA1 to be one of those challengers, but it's been a calm final round. Not been the case for Kim Chae-hee at 14 under now as she birdies the last, teeing off on the par 3. In a perfect world, she was looking for front right, and in a perfect world, her tee shot looks a lot like that. 3 under today. A really nice tee shot to add to her ever-growing collection. Speaking of EA1, in that same grouping with Kim Chae-hee, she's only 1 under today. She's not playing poorly, but she is 2 back. It's a nice tee shot for her as well. As we go across to 8, Chung So-hee for birdie. Starting it above the hole, and even with the speed, she might have been on the wrong side of it. And now teeing off at 8. A great tee shot at that. She comes into the event after a round of an eagle, 7 birdies, and 3 bogeys yesterday. It was a 6 under 66 for Sung Eugene. Looking for a 2nd win of the season and 3rd since winning the Tucson match play back in May. We have pars finalized, then we head across to 9. This is Imjini from the fairway. Just a full wedge to get up, and a nice little bit of backspin. That'll keep her within a meter or 2. Should be a lights out putt for birdie. And here's how our leaderboard looks. Kim Chae-hee from Lee Seung-yeon, just one stroke separating the two through 6 and 7 holes respectively. EA1 at that aforementioned 1 under par for the day. Chung So-hee in 4th. 2 under today through 8. Chae Reem, Chung Yoon-ji, Im Jinhee, Lee So-mi, Hang Jung-min, and Imi Jung all tied for 5th at 9 under par on a blustery Sunday at Elysian Jeju. So much to get to. Hope you are comfortable. Pour yourself a tea, get yourself your favorite beverage, and settle in. This will be an exciting 2.5 to 3 hours of golf to crown a champion at the SLL Championship for 2023. Well, this is the penultimate event of the 2023 LPGA Tour of Korea season, and after next week's SK Shieldas and SK Telecom Championship 2023, we are racing to the Wii Mix Championship, the season's final finale, where the top 24 players on tour will compete for quite a special event. 2 rounds. Hope you'll join us then, with some NFTs and bragging rights on the line before we end the month of November and start to look ahead to the 2024 season. But certainly some business to attend to today, even though the skies have opened and remain opened up. This is EA1, a putt into the wind, starting it well to her left of the hole, starting to move back online. A little too late. Naomi Jung from the fairway. This is a 6-iron. She doesn't look thrilled with it, and that would be why. A couple of skips into the sand. It was an absolutely brilliant second round yesterday, of course, for her. What a second half of the season it has been. She went 6 under to go tied for 4th with Hong Jung-min, and up to 10 under she finds herself. Sung Eugene, she is quietly trying to scurry back to where she had started the day. Obviously, we see the difficulties with a couple of bogeys and a double. Now he's Sung Young from the right side of the fairway. She's at 117. Another full wedge, and she takes a healthy chunk of the fairway with her. Catches that a little bit thick, and she pays for it. Short of the green with that aggressively located pin in this final round. She will be headed to the sand for her next shot. And now Kim Chae-hee, who is our leader and will remain as such with this 5-footer. She walks it in. It's a good putt. It's back-to-back birdies now. Extends her lead to 2 strokes, mind you, to 15 under par. Now Genie before the turn to go to 10 under. That's just enough. She is comfortably now inside of the top 5 and she goes out with a 34. Naomi Jung trying to blast that out of the sand. Of course, it is playing slow, soft, and a little bit wet, like everything on the course. And EA1's par save at 7. A little right to left, little uphill, and right on the line. Lee Seung-yeon glances that through the grass just before the fringe and trickles onto the green. This event that has been played since 2007. Lee So-mi came in as the defending champion after her score of 10 under last season. Lee Jung close to that mark. but failing to save herself from the sand trap. This will be a bogey. Down to 8 under she will go. He's starting to look a little bit comfortable at the top. 4 under through 7 holes as she gets set for her tee shot at number 8. Finds the middle of the fairway with driver. And Sun-Yan, nicely done. Wasn't the path that she would have prescribed herself from the fairway, but she does get up and down for a par. Of course, it is Lee Sun-Hyun, who is a co-owner of the tournament record with Park Ji-young at 17 under par, though those two were able to do it in just 3 rounds of play. Time on the green is short-lived as it uses the backspin and the headwind to roll back off the fringe at the front. On a similar path as this approach onto the green rolls back to the fringe. We go back to the tee with the A1, who also is able to find that narrow stretch of fairway just as the dogleg left begins. She has the time, and she also has 1 fewer holes to try and recover from this 2-stroke deficit. She'll look to get off to a good start with her drive. Loses the handle on the follow-through, but is still in regulation. Left side of the fairway. Of course, all eyes on this group, especially with EA1 in it. But she is not the brightest light thus far. That is Kim Chae-hee in her red and burgundy striped shirt. Comfortably 2 ahead. Although the conditions, I don't know that we can quite call them comfortable today. And for Kim Chae-hee, only 2 bogeys on the back 9 thus far this week through 3 rounds. 4 birdies and an eagle. Her eagle came, of course, in round number 2 on the par 4 11th. She is looking for her first win as a pro. She's come close this season. Had a runner-up back at the end of September, the Tabo House D Open. And after all the preparations, she is able to just eke onto the green. Probably the only club she would have wanted to take out of her bag. The wind doing herself no favors, but is able to get on. And now EA1. And she goes a little bit closer as the wind actually changes to help her at the end. And she'll be quite satisfied with that. She can make a birdie from there. We've seen it countless times this season. And now our defending champ, Iso Mi, now 5 back on 9. She is putting just before the fringe and has to give it a good whack. Here it comes, starting on its turn, but a little bit short in terms of the strength on the putt. So the advantage late on the front 9 remains 2 for Kim Chae-hee. 15 under and 13 under the top 2 scores. EA1 at 12, Chung So-hee at 4. We'll be right back to Elysian Jeju, the final round of the SOL Championship. We're back at Elysian Jeju. We find Kim Chae-hee with just 2 holes to play on the front 9 before she heads to the Pine Course in what she will hope will be a back 9 that ends in a coronation. Was her putt for birdie that she leaves about 3 feet short of her target. Hole further forward, Lee So-mi, and she's trying to save a par to stay within 5. Carolina tie for 5th and remains there with that gutsy par. Goes out with the 35 with birdies on 3 and 7 and a bogey at 2. For Chung So-hee, that was worst case scenario, also on 9. Struck that with conviction, but she wasn't lined up, and it will cost her a par. And she can't even recover for the par. For the bogey, excuse me. So she's going down 2. Really going to need to step back and take a minute with this putt. She was always on the outside looking in, but now she'll be even out of the top 5. Goes without saying, but as she basically has a replay of her putt for par, she cannot miss this putt. It is double bogey, but that is gut-wrenching. Down to T6, she was without fault through the first 8 holes. And just like that, undoes all the good work she had done on the front 9. And goes out with a 36. This is EA1, nice little right to left, but doesn't quite give herself the start she needed. To the outside of the hole, and she will also be settling for a bogey. As we go to 9, Imi Jung, she is stood in the rough with a 7-iron in her hand, and she executes with a brilliant approach shot. And with all the drama around her, Kim Chae-hee can just roll in this short par and keep her advantage at 2. Imi Jung on 9. Lee Seung-yeon was able to stay in the fairway. Only needs about 3/4 of a swing. Maybe could have used half. She goes all the way to the back right. And Im Genie from 116 at 10. She's really pushing for a runner-up or a podium spot at this point, and she can just plod along, pick up the birdies where they'll fall. She is in decent stead. Kim Jae this week, 9 of 10. Her driving accuracy on these par 4s, 12 of 14 combined, which is well above the course average. And of course, does not help those numbers. A rare miss for her. Pars on Thursday and Saturday. Birdie here on Friday. She looked awfully pensive after watching that ball take to the air. I have a ton of complaints as she stays in the fairway. In the meantime, we go off to 10 with ENG. Outside look at a bird and just runs out of speed. The line was perfectly there. She'll settle for a par. Reem on 12, birdie Thursday, pars the last 2 rounds. First par 3 of the back 9. And gets it exactly pin high, makes the right adjustment with the wind well at her back. We'll be looking at a birdie, as is Lee Seung-yeon, but a long way away. She starts this to the outside of the hole, knowing it's going to come back. Here comes the break, straightening out just a few centimeters away. That would have been quite the miraculous putt, but not quite to be. It is par. And that brings us to Mi Jung. +2 today on the front 9. Trying to stabilize on the back. Go out with a 37. That's a nice birdie. Takes her back to T6. Back-to-back bogeys at 7 and 8. Recovers on 9. And a rare speck of trouble for our leader. Up into the rough by the rock wall that separates this hole from the cart path. EA1 patiently waits their turn, but since we're not quite there, we'll go to 10. 125 on the nose and a pitching wedge for Lee So-mi. Gets on the green, but only just. The A1 has been given the green light to go ahead. She is, of course, away. 6 iron, 131, and against the wind. Don't know that she would have been fully willing to go for a 5 iron there. She's not often one lacking for distance. So Eugene will be next, only 120 out. She's on the fence between clubs. She looks for a little extra. Nope, she changes her mind. She's either going to come through with a masterful shot, or she's going to realize that she overthought it. Until straight on the fence, a little bit uncomfortable. Hopefully for her sake, she picks the right club in the end. Back and forth. Nope, this is the one, she says. Watching the wind change and pick up speed isn't doing herself any favors, but she's committed. Contact is clean. And if she took a little bit less, if that's what the other club was, she might have preferred it in the end. Where things get a little bit more interesting. Kim Chae-hee from the rough. Able to work herself back and onto the green. This is where we will pause. The final hole of the front nine for our leader, and she is not having the best of luck, though she is on pace for a 38 on the way out. Excuse me. That is not how the math should work. How about a 32 instead on the way out? Pak Yang-young, another great round in progress, though just outside of the top 10. Peng-Shin Chil, the rookie, tied for 16th, with Ho Da-bin at 6 under par. And Jiwani So Young at 3 under T26. So Yeon Jung 1 under, and even par sees 33 players at that mark or higher. Lee Jung-min, a notable name, as is the rookie Lee Shu-ying, down towards page 5 of the leaderboard. In this final round Sunday, a rainy day on Jeju. We'll be right back for more from the SL Championship. Welcome back. Isomi finishes another. EA1 preparing to finish the front nine. Knowing that a birdie here really applies the pressure. Would move her into a tie for second. Well, there's always an outside chance. Hangs it to the inside and will settle for a par. Next is ENG from the fairway. Finds about the middle of the green. Still some work to be done. Jung. A little bit short on that particular approach, and now as the skies open, you can really see on the cart path at the back right of your picture the rain and the wind covering the cart path. Kim Jae-hee. Almost to 16 before the turn, slightly offline. She'll feel more than satisfied being 2 strokes ahead, though she's going to have to deal with the pressure of the chasing pack and the elements. Sun-Yeon continuing to navigate her way across the hole. Sung Eugene trying to save par before the turn. She's 7 back now. Already +4 on the front nine. She does not want to see +5, but she's going to. She has pushed that effort, and it is +5, a 41 on the way out. That is 4 bogeys, a double bogey, and only the 1 bird, and trying to get whatever respite she can from the rain. final preparations. Little left to right putt. Navigates it well. Good par. It's just the one birdie on 6, otherwise all pars. She will start the back 9, 3 back. Next up, it is a fast-moving putt that catches just enough of the outside of the cup to roll and rock its way down. That is 4 birdies on the bounce since a bogey at number 3, and ENG is moving ever closer and is now outright 4th. Well, she's far from out of it, but she's going to need 1 or 2 of these low percentage putts to go if she has aspirations for a title. That is gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, pick your adjective. She was right on line, just a bit too much power. She bounces off the back and stays out. So a quick recalibration. And a tap in par. One last double check of the line. These 4-footers, any golfers, biggest and most frequent challenge. Amy Jeng has it there. So with that par, as a big raindrop covers our lens, we see Amy Jung down, tied for 6th through 10 holes, 9 under for the tournament, +1 today, and 5 strokes separating each of the top 5. Kim Chae-hee from Lee Seung-yeon, from EA1, from Im Genie, and Lee So-mi. Everyone through the front 9. The Pine course will decide our champion of this SOL Championship for 2023 on a soggy Elysian Jeju. We'll be back with more just after the break. Wind gusting through the trees in the background paints quite the picture. It's still at around 6 meters per second, the average wind in this final round. And still lots of golf to be played to decide our champ. Lee Seung-yeon, she birdied here on Thursday, had pars on Friday and yesterday as well. Tee shot finds the middle of the fairway, as if to say, what wind. J-Ream just the sliver inside of 7 meters. Downhill picking up plenty of speed. and defying the odds. Only 8% of the time this year that distance of a putt has been made, but don't look now. That is birdie number 5 for her today, and she is absolutely hustling up the leaderboard. It was just a couple of holes ago that Chung So-hee had unfortunately really played herself out of contention with a shocking double bogey out of nothing. She is in recovery mode now outside of the top 5. That birdie would have helped. She's still got likely 2 hours at the minimum before she'll know if this weekend is in fact her weekend to finally ascend to the top. The rain, meanwhile, on 12 is quite literally almost sideways. The autumn always brings a surprise or two, even at the southernmost point of the country. 7-iron, 154, and hole number 10 for EA1. .142 to the green now, on the left side of this fairway. A little bit short, and with these drenched greens, she's not going to get any help after arriving at the putting surface. Very least doing their best to keep spirits high. And we might be headed for a pause here, ladies and gentlemen. We can play through rain when it starts to pool on the edges of the green and the hail begins to fall as well. That is when we start to worry about a delay. And yeah, just a couple of holes further along, that paints an even more treacherous picture. The concerning part is looking at the forecast. This isn't really supposed to slow down until sunset, which could make the final couple of hours here quite interesting. The players are quite literally being paid to be here. Their jobs are to be here, but the supporters certainly deserve quite the shout out for dealing with the conditions, and that is going to take some rollers and some squeegees to try and make this course playable again. The wind has picked up, the rain has obviously increased, and we will have a temporary suspension of play. And as soon as we get any updates from the producers and from the tournament officials, we will of course pass it along to you. Well, as you can see, we are currently in a weather delay as the skies have opened up and the rain has begun to absolutely pummel the golf course. That had seen plenty of rain earlier today, but the tournament officials had done a fantastic job to get it playable. Mother Nature had played along until she stopped. So the plan, as we await updates and we keep a close eye on the skies, we will show you highlights from the round in progress thus far. You see the leaderboard at the bottom right corner of your screen. We will remind you of how it currently reads. And that is one shot separating each of the top five. Kim Chae-hee from Lee Seung-yeon, Ie-won, Im Ji-ni, and then Chae-rim and Lee So-mi both tied for fifth. We will continue to roll through the highlights, and as information is passed along to me, I will make sure you are kept in the loop as quick as it is available. But for the interim, we will step aside, let these highlights carry us to our resumption, and hopefully be back sooner than later, because we still have some business to attend to with an entire back nine to be played on Jeju.
Let's go. Let's lock in.
Hello again, everyone. Just a reminder, I'm sure you can see for yourself, but we are currently in a weather delay with just about half of the round played at the minute here on Malaysian in Jeju, the final round of the S-Oil Championship 2023. We have had 2 millimeters of rainfall in the last 15 minutes or so. Looking at the forecast, I wish I had better news to report, but this rain is expected to stay at its same level until around sunset, which is obviously not particularly convenient to finish a round. We are hoping, our fingers are crossed, that that forecast will ease up as we look to the future so we can get this championship round in the penultimate event, of course, of the season before a big finish next week at La Vie Belle. We are awaiting updates from the tournament and tour officials. They are obviously in the same position as us, just waiting for news with their eyes glued to the weather radar. As they come in, we will pass them along to you. But until we do get an update, we will continue to go through the highlights from the round thus far, and I will pipe up from time to time just to remind you and update you as I can. We thank you for your patience. Of course, we are at the mercy of Mother Nature just as our fantastic golfers are. So stay with us, and as the updates are available, we'll make sure we get them to you promptly.
들어가라 그래. 선생님.
Hello again, everyone. This is Adam Jenkins here for SBS Golf. Just wanted to pass along an update from the tour officials, and that is we are getting ready, slowly but surely, to resume. Now, of course, that can change if things take a turn for the worst, but the most recent information is that the rain is going to hold off just long enough to get the greens rolled and the course back in playable condition. Of course, in a final round at this part of the year, you are racing sunset as much as you are dealing with the ever-changing conditions. But our most recent information is that the players have been told we are getting ready to resume as soon as we can. If that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we're not quite sure. But hopefully, sooner rather than later, we will have a return to Elysian Jeju. I just wanted to pass that along. We will continue to roll through these highlights until the course is ready to be updated, at least in terms of the preparation or the ultimate return of the field. Reminder that while the bottom right corner of your screen is showing you the scores to this point in the highlight tape, we are looking like this. Kim Chae-hee at 14 under par. She leads by 1 stroke from Lee Soon-yeon, who has 1 shot on EA1, who has 1 shot on Im Jin-hee, who has 1 shot on Shea Reem and Lee So-mi. Those are the top 5, and we are hoping to see them in live play sooner rather than later, but that is a very encouraging sign that the players are getting ready to return. And as soon as they're back out there, we will pick back up upon our coverage of this final round of the SRL Championship 2023. And again, we thank you for your patience. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Just checking in again. Wish I had more of a precise update for you, but as you can see, we've remained in weather delay about midway through the rounds of our featured group. The rain has been quite steady for the past 30 minutes or so until we were forced into a brief pause over 30 minutes ago now. The most recent update we had from the tour is that the hope was to resume shortly. Now, that was some 15 minutes ago, and of course, with weather, of course, these rainy days, that can change. The wind can pick up, which it most certainly has. At the most recent check, it is around 7 meters per second and gusting up past 8. The rain remains steady, though it looks like we might have a brief pause in it. And the hope is that we will be able to resume the final round shortly. We're obviously not quite there just yet, so we will remain in the highlights from earlier in the day, and I will continue to pass along whatever information I possibly can as it comes through. We thank you for your patience, and we hope to bring you more live coverage shortly. the live pictures from Malaysia and Jeju, and you can see the greens are far from in a position where they could be played. We are monitoring the situation and the forecast closely. Our hope is that we will shortly be able to return to live action. Told you a little while ago that the players were told we were hoping to resume. EA1 was back out on the green just to check things out, but with that much water, yeah, we are not going to be in a position to be played. So ball markers are replaced by tees, and the players head into the clubhouse to get warm, dry off, and wait for updates just as we do as well. We appreciate your patience, and we'll be hoping to have more pertinent resumption information for you as it becomes available, as we are currently in a weather delay in the final round of the SOL Championship 2023. Stay with us. As soon as we have the information, we'll make sure we pass it along to you. Good afternoon again, everyone. We appreciate your patience throughout this weather delay in the final round of the SOL Championship 2023. It is now 3 p.m. local time on Jeju, and unfortunately, no update as to when we might be able to resume. We are dealing with howling winds that have fluctuated from 6 meters per second all the way up to 9. That is its own battle. We also, of course, have the rain, which is our biggest problem, keeping the greens, well, much more than not ideal. Quite literally unplayable at the minute, just with the amount of water that we have seen. It's been about 3 millimeters that have fallen in the last 45 minutes or so. 30 minutes ago, we were told we were getting ready to restart. Obviously, that has been pushed back due to the conditions. We're also, of course, being mindful of the fact that sunset is just 2 hours and 38 minutes away, and our featured group is only on hole number 10. We will do what we can do. We will play as much as we can play. If we are suspended, if we are needing to end early, if we are needed to play tomorrow, all of those balls are in the air as the tour officials juggle to try and get us in a position where we can resume and eventually crown a champion on Jeju. At the minute, if you're joining us late and are watching through the weather delay, the bottom right corner of your screen, it is showing you the leaderboard as it was when this play happened. At the moment, as mentioned, we are through 9 holes in the final round, and the top 5 looks as such. Kim Chae-hee, 3 under today, 14 under for the tournament. Lee Sung-yeon, 3 under today, 13 under for the tournament. She has played 10 holes in the penultimate group. EA1 in the featured group, just as she is on your screen right now. She is 1 under through 9, 2 back at 12 under. ENG, she is 3 back, 3 under for today. At 11 under for the tournament through 11 holes. Then it is Che A-reem and our defending champion Lee So-mi, both at 10 under par through 13 and 10 holes respectively. That is the top 5. Imi Jung +1 through 10, tied for 7th with Jung So-lee. Park Young, she is 3 under through 14, 6 back at 8 under with Ji Han-sol and Hong Jung-min. That is about as much of an update as I could provide you at the minute. If that changes, fingers crossed when that changes, you'll hear it from me first. In the meantime, we will continue to go through previous round highlights and be back hopefully with more shortly. We thank you for your patience during this weather delay here in the final round of the S-Oil Championship.
Nice buddy. Nice buddy.
Hello, everyone. We remain in weather delay, bringing you pictures from earlier in the day prior to the temporary suspension of the round. We have been in weather delay for just under 70 minutes now. We were hoping about 45 minutes ago that we were close. The update is that we remain close, but not quite ready to resume the final round action. The hope, the plan, the most recent information is that that remains the intention, is to get this final round in. We are, of course, racing the weather and racing sunset as well. So no updates other than that we are hoping that the weather breaks shortly and the greens can be rolled and made playable once more. And as the information comes in, we will pass that along to you. In the meantime, we continue to bring you earlier round highlights of this S-Oil Championship 2023 final round, and we appreciate your patience as we deal with this weather delay.
good.
제가 할게요. 네. 제가 할게요. 네, 감사합니다.
집에서 아파도 괜찮은 거예요? 여기요.
Hello again, everybody. We're coming to you, of course, in weather delay in this final round of the S-Oil Championship 2023. And for the first time in a little while now, we have a proper update for you. Unfortunately, due to the conditions, a rather waterlogged set of greens, fairways, and just about every patch of grass that we were hoping to play on, and the approaching sunset, we have confirmed now that we will not be able to play the remainder of the round. And due to where we are in the round, we are not going to be able to classify any of the performances from today. So what that means is the tournament has now officially concluded, and we will be taking the standings, the classification from round 3 as the final and official results. So Sung Eugene has won this event despite being +5 through the first 9 holes of her day and being tied for 12th as we went to delay. It is in the regulations. It is the fairest way of deciding the championship, knowing we will not be able to get the remainder of the tournament in. So despite this not being the best of Sundays through a few hours of golfing, it ends up being quite the fantastic Sunday for Sung Eugene in the end. So she has won the S-Oil Championship for 2023. EA1, Kim Chae-hee, they will share runner-up. Hong Jung-bin, Lee Mi-jung, and Lee Seung-yeon will finish tied for 4th. Lee So-mi, Ko Chi-yu, Chung So-lee, and Chung Yoon-ji will wrap up the top 10. Again, due to the weather and the fact that it is not going to improve by the time sunset arrives, the tour has made the decision to take the classification from the end of the round yesterday as final. Sung Eugene has won the S-Oil Championship 2023. It is obviously a fantastic break for her considering how the day had gone. It becomes her 3rd win of the season and the 4th in her career, which is obviously incredibly exciting And just goes to show you never want to leave it to Sunday if you can avoid it. Apologies, second win of the season. We already have the website updating the results as final. It was the 2023 Tucson Match Play Championship, her first win of the year. This is win number 2 of the season and 3 of her career. We're being told that the awards presentation will begin in 10 minutes time, but again, if you've missed it or you just turned up the volume as the update began, we will not be able to finish round 4. Sung Eugene has won based on her standing at the end of round 3, and we will have our awards presentation in 10 minutes time. Not the way we wanted Sunday to go, not the way we wanted this broadcast to go. We were hoping to go right to the end, certainly based on how she was trending. Kim Chae-hee would have thought she was in with a great chance to win this competition, but due to where we are going to have to take the classification from yesterday, she will be 1 shot back, tied for second with EA1. We thank you for your patience today on a frustrating weather delay, but sometimes Mother Nature has the last laugh. So again, Sung Ju-yin, our winner of the SOL Championship 2023, with the awards presentation set to begin in less than 10 minutes time.
살짝만 보자. 그리고 많이 나빠졌다.
Unfortunately, the howling winds and borderline torrential rainfall has decided it is here to stay, and that brings an early conclusion to this S-Oil Championship for 2023. We had the field in various states in their final rounds, from midway to nearly finished to a few that had come in and wrapped up their rounds. But due to the weather, and due to the fact we will not be able to get this round finished before sunset, the tour went into the regulations and found the best course of action, the fairest course of action, and that is because of the fact we can't conclude and we don't know what the back nine would have seen. We are taking the classification from yesterday. By the end of round number 3 is how we have decided a winner for this tournament, and that means that Sung Eugene has been crowned the champion. It is the second win of her season. It is the third of her career. And once we have shown you the pictures of why we are not finishing the fourth round, we will head in to the awards presentation here at the S-Oil Championship. Crossing our fingers and hoping for much better luck next week at La Vie Belle for the 3-round competition to officially conclude the season. But the winner and the player who will be taking home, the athlete that will be taking home the lion's share of the 900 million won prize will be Sung Eugene. This is where we were when play was suspended. It is not where we sit. We need to look at the Saturday leaderboard. It is Sung Eugene from EA1 who has another podium finish this year. Kim Chae-hee is tied with her at 11 under par. Here we go. Hung Jung-min, Lee Mi-jung, Lee Sung-yeon, they will be sharing T4. Lee So-mi, the defending champion, will end 3 short of the lead. She was tied with Ko Chi-yu, Chun Sung-yi, and Chung Yoon-ji. Im Jin-hee, Kim Min-ju tied for 11th. Chae Yun-woo, Chi Han-sol tied for 13th. Lee Ji-hyun 3, Kim Ae-rim, Chae Rim, and Lee So-young tied for 15th. And Sung-yi, Park Young-kyung, Lee Da-yeon, Lee Ga-young, they are through T19. Pang-shin, Shil Ho-da-bin, Lee Sul-gi, Chun Woo-ri tied for 22nd. Chun Ye-sung, Pae So-hyun, and Park Bo-kyum tied for 27th. And wrapping up the top 30, Kim Min-byul, Park Ju-young, Hyun Se-rin, and a few others at that mark. So congratulations to Sung Eugene. She was certainly not expecting to be the champ, especially with her +5 round through less than a dozen holes. But hey, she got her business done earlier in the week, and it will be enough to see her crowned the champion. We will cascade through the leaderboard for you, and momentarily we will head inside for the awards presentation. Well, here we go then. Sun Eugene has found a relatively dry set of clothes, and everyone is being reminded where they were by day's end yesterday. It is an unorthodox way to end a tournament, but it is the fairest way as per our regulations. They are getting arranged inside, and the awards ceremony will begin shortly.
박수로 환영해주시면 고맙겠습니다. 먼저 대회 최사 SOE 안왕 안피즈라지 시원님을 소개합니다. 여러분 큰 박수로 환영해주시죠. 다음은 미래주관사 한국여자프로골프협회 김수미 수석부회장님을 소개합니다. 다음 멋진 코스를 들고 계신 엘리시나 스마트클럽 김대진 대표이사님을 소개합니다. 이어서 주사 SOL 안종범 사장님을 소개합니다. 이어서 SOL 서정규 부사장님을 소개합니다. 자, 이번 대회는 정월 퍼링의 요원을 준비했습니다. 바스에 3번 홀에 벤골프 아이언 세트, 7번 홀에 프레드릭 컨스탄트 매니팩처 프로기움, 15번에 혼다 리오거드 하이브리드, 16번에 카르마 퀴즈 모션밴드가 부상으로 걸려있었으나 아쉽게도 퍼링이 나오지 않았습니다. 자, 지금부터 본상 시상식을 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 1, 2, 3 선수는 시상대기로 이동하여 주시길 바랍니다. 자, 선수를 입장합니다. 여러분, 박수로 환영해 주십시오. 자, 영광의 메달은 SOL 아나로 아티자는 기업인데서 꽃다발은 한국여자프로골프협회 김수미 수석부회장님께서 수여를 해주시겠습니다. 먼저 동메달입니다. 3라운드 20점 도발을 이용한 김재인 프로입니다. 박수 쳐주십시오. 이어서 동메달입니다. 3라운드 11점 도발 이혜원 프로입니다. 축하합니다. 자, 마지막으로 SOL 챔피언십 2023 영예 금메달 1라운드 70타, 2라운드 68타, 3라운드 66타, 총 12연타를 기록한 성윤진 프로 축하합니다. 자, 이어서 우리 스포츠 여러분과 내일 여러분들 함께 기념 촬영을 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 자, 선수 먼저 기념 촬영으로 부탁드립니다. 자, 선수 여러분 먼저 친구들이랑 부탁드릴까요? 네. 자, 올라가시고, 네. 앉아가지고, 네. 자, 가까이 좀 서주시고. 자, 먼저 올라가요. 네. 자, 올라가서. 자, 여러분 축하의 박수. 자, 보내주시고. 자, 오늘 기본이면, 자, 일어나 한번, 이 앞에서 깨끗을 들고 와주시면. 네.
Well, Kim Jae-hee, she ties her career best as a runner-up for the third time, despite the disappointment of feeling like she was on pace to win this event. She just ran out of luck with Mother Nature. For EA1, it is another brilliant end to the week. She has her 13th top 10 of the year, her fourth runner-up, to go along with 3 wins. She has been absolutely marvelous. But Sung Eugene, through 3 rounds, she was the very best of the week. And she has another W to add to her career total. It is the slimmest of wins. It took a little bit of a lucky break, and she will most certainly be grateful that she did the most of her birdieing earlier in the tournament with the way her final round had been projecting. But in the end, she is the winner of 162 million won, the yellow and green jacket, and a nice trophy to add to her collection. Her second win of the season, also won the Tucson Match Play Championship. And we'll get a nice haul of points heading into next week's season finale.
자, 끝까지 멋진 제안으로 함께해준 우리 프로님들, 또 멋진 일을 만들어주신 대빈 여러분들 함께했습니다. 여러분, 큰 박수로 축하해주시고 응원해주시길 바라겠습니다. 자, SOL 화이팅!
So in abbreviated fashion, our congratulations to Sung Eugene for winning the S-Oil Championship 2023. That means we are now through 31 of 32 events this season, and we have one more before officially closing the book on what has been a fantastic 2023 campaign. We will stay on Jeju and head to La Vie et Belle for a 3-round event that begins on Friday, the SK Shieldas SK Telecom Championship, and also one final chance for the athletes this season to try and make it into the top 24 and participate in the Wii Mix Championship. So much still to come in the final few weeks of November before the end of the season, and while this was not the final round that we were hoping for today, it is nice, of course, to have some finality. So our thanks to you, not only for your patience on this Sunday, but also for joining us all weekend long and all season long. One more still to go next week at La Vie et Belle. Hope you'll join us on Friday. For our entire SBS Golf crew, I've been Adam Jenkins. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you very soon back on the LPGA Tour of Korea. So long, everyone.